Welcome everyone, Shane here. In this video I want to cover some more of the basics of Audacity. I've gotten wonderful emails and comments, so I wanted to provide a way of looking a little bit deeper into this program to just cover a lot of the basics. Okay, so in my sessions with people, not only BQH but the one-on-one sessions, I talk to people that have been sort of nudged to maybe start recording either, their poems or blogs or an audio book or whatever it is, and a lot of them just don't know how to do it. So with this free program Audacity, I'm going to show you how you can actually, let's see here, utilize some of the free tools available within YouTube. So first off, let's look at, this is Audacity, and here we have it. Just for future people watching this, you can see the version I'm using at the time of this recording. And I've been using this monitor up here. I've been hoping to ping it up here, to peak it, which I actually did. So in the last video, I was trying to make it peak to show you whenever it does this, you want to come over and turn down the mic volume so you don't, make it peak. Because if it does that, then you need to redo the recording because it will create distortion in there. So once you turn it down, you can reset this light by clicking on it like that. Okay, so say we are recording an audio book. All I did was hit the R button on the keyboard and it just started recording on the available track there. At any point, if I get interrupted or say there's a knock, knock, knock on the door, I can just hit the space bar. And then when I'm ready to come back to it, I can simply hit R again to start recording right where I left off. But I'm going to hit the space bar. I'm going to undo that by hitting Control and Z together. And then say I was interrupted for a while and I wasn't quite sure where I was, I can click anywhere on this timeline right up here. Or say there's a knock, knock, knock on the door. Okay, and then say there was an interruption like that. I can just highlight the area of the knock on the door, hit delete, and now it's ready to hit R again and begin recording again. And so I wanted to get some background noise in here too, but I forgot to turn on the fan first. So I was going to show how you can remove the background sound, but I did do that in the other video. So you can watch that. But say this is however long it's going to be, and I've completed my poem or blog post or whatever it is. I will hit the space bar, and now it's recorded like a tape recorder. I've completed my. Okay, so like a recorder, you can just hit, rewind and go back to the beginning. We are recording an audio book. Okay, so now we have this here, but maybe I want to add some music to it, right? So you can actually go into your YouTube. Let me find it here. I opened it up earlier. This is inside my my dashboard in YouTube Studio. So you open up your dashboard, you go down to Audio Library, and then in here you can find a bunch of free music that you can use inside your videos. Or background if it's just your audio. But if you're going to post it, it's probably going to be on YouTube somewhere. So you can come here. What I like to do is click on here and hit attribution not required. That way I know they won't, add ads or do anything like that. It's free to use. And then you can actually, depending on what style of music, you can hit this little arrow again, and maybe you want to select by mood, and maybe you want something calm, inspirational. We'll apply that. And maybe, let's hit another down one here. Maybe genre, maybe you want it to be cinematic or classical. Ambient is a good one. Most of those will, especially the ambient, won't be very distracting to whatever you have in the forefront. You can hit apply. And as you see, different songs come up here that you can use, and you can hit this little play button. Okay, so say we like that one. Okay, you can preview multiple ones. Actually, I'm going to try this ambient one. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I'll hit download. And I actually have a folder here that I've created so I can come back and use them in the future. They're already downloaded and I can sort of listen at what I have, but we'll just add this one to the mix. And then we'll go back to Audacity. And I will find that file. I'll go File, Import, Audio, so background music free. And then here we have it. I think this is the one we just downloaded, so I'll open it. And there it is. Now we can hear alongside. We are recording an audio book. All I did was hit the R. Okay, so now I have this audio in here. I can use whatever section of it I want by grabbing this little sideways arrow, and you can like move it. Like so, if I move it like this, it's going to be this really loud part, and I want to turn the volume way down because you want it super low. We're talking like in the 20 or 30 even range. What is this? This is 13. We'll move it down to like 24 decibels. An audio book. All I did was hit the R button. You can see it's still pretty loud, so I'll even pull it down some more. So like 31. If it's really loud like this is, you'll have to do that on the available track there. At any point, okay, let's say for instance, okay, let's say that's all good. For instance, let me just cut it off. I'll just highlight the parts I don't want. And let me just cut off this beginning too. Just a little bit. It won't hurt to be longer. Okay, so your tools to move it is going to be this left and right arrow one, and then this one here that looks like a capital I is going to be the main one you're going to use to like highlight and things like that. So I can highlight this N that was extra, and now I can actually highlight the beginning. We can zoom in by holding Control and scrolling in on our mouse, or we can hit Control 1, 1, 1, and then 3 takes it back out. So 1 and 3, I'll use this quite a bit if I want to be more precise, because sometimes the wheel kind of goes crazy. Okay, so we are recording an. Okay, let's. While I have that highlighted, I'll say fade in. Now you can see how the volume turns up. Let's hear it. We are recording an. Okay, so now we got to hear the music fade in. Maybe when we want it to fade out at the end, I can hit Control 3, put my marker here and hit Control 1 and let it zoom in on this area. And then I can come in here, hit fade out. And you can make it as long if you wanted a really quick fade out, like that. You can make it short if you want it to really be drawn out and not really noticeable. You can just highlight even more and fade it out. My poem or blog post or whatever. Okay, so there we have it. What if the opposite is true? Maybe you have a 10-minute, a clip of your audio, but the music's not long enough, right? That happens quite a bit too. What I'll usually do is highlight it, copy it, add a new track, and then paste it in. And then because we faded it out, well, this other end might need trimmed, but I'll pull it like this. And I'll overlap the areas of the volume turning up and down. Now you'll see here I have this little piece that was left over. That's no big deal. I'll just take it, and I don't want it to move my clip. Well, actually it can move the clip, so I'll just delete it and see how it moved it over a little bit. So now what happens is I'll need to adjust this volume to be the same as this, which was 31, negative 31. And then I can use the same clip over and over again, or blog post or whatever. Now you see the music almost sounded seamless, and you can stretch those volumes out It's better if you use something that's, doesn't have a lot of beats in it. That does have that little sound, but we still got away with it there. Pretty good. Poem or blog post or whatever. Okay, so our audio isn't really that long, but I can repeat the process. I can copy this. I can go all the way to the end and click right about here where I see it start fading out, and I can hit paste. And because I had that little piece left over, I'll have to keep cutting that off. Not the next time. The next time I will copy this one. So once again, see, you can kind of tell it switched, but the music stayed constant. And now you can see how no matter how long your recording is, you can just continue this process. Copy, go right about here, hit paste. And now at this point, well, let me do one more here. Copy, click here, and paste. Now I've extended it out to about 3 minutes. Each clip was only about, 30, 40 seconds or so. So I could have gotten like a 3-minute song that had like melodies at the beginning and end to fade it out, and I wouldn't have had to do as many of these. And we'll use this row since we need to see the one above. Copy, and come out here, paste. And if we need to move it a little bit, we can go up to that little tool and adjust it. And so on and so forth. You can just keep copying and pasting it and extending it. Paste. Just like that. Now this is going on and on. Now we've gotten, over 5-minute clip of music, background music, out of just that 30 seconds. So I try to find music that's going to be long enough for the whole process, but you can see how if you're doing a chapter and it's like, 40 minutes long, you might want to change it up, have it go into another song at a different point, but all of that's possible. But that will cover adding music along with vocals, and the only suggestion I would have is to really turn it way down or it becomes a distraction. And begin recording again. You see how that's like almost all the way down. That's like way down there. I can't even really turn it down much more. It goes at 36 and it was at 31. So almost completely off, and it's still pretty loud. The other thing you can do with your vocals, I've talked about. I'm going to scroll in by holding the scroll wheel. Compression is really helpful. If you go into compression, what compression does is it makes the loud things quieter and the quiet things louder. It squashes basically the sound here. So we'll go into here, we'll hit compressor. Let's see what it's. We are recording an audio book. All I did was hit the R button. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK because I can hear that it not only did it compress it, but it also turned it way up. So I do that before I do amplify. Because see, now if I hit amplify, look, it doesn't need to amplify. It's at 0. It won't do anything to it by amplifying it. So just a little tip to add to the last one. And then, of course, we talked about, adding an effect. Let me just highlight one section here. Like you might want a little bit of reverb. And begin recording again. Okay, I can bring this down. And begin recording again. Sounds like I'm in a bathroom. Let's move it up a little bit. And begin recording again. And then I can just turn the reverberance down and begin recording again. And there's not much on there at all. So let me hit cancel. Now that I have it set up, I'm going to highlight the whole thing by double clicking, and I'll go back to the reverb, preview it. We are recording an audio book. Okay, so now hit OK. And now you see it brought the volume down a little bit, but it added the reverb. And so I wanted to get some background noise in here too, but I forgot. Okay, so you can hear it's already sounding more and more professional with each little thing we do to it. At this point, say it's all complete. You've got, the music and the voice in there and everything. You just simply go up to, well, you want to save the project first off. I'm not going to save it. I don't really need it. But when you're ready to send it out to actually have an MP3 or a WAV file, I use MP3. You can use WAV file. They're bigger, but same thing pretty much. Hit MP3, and then I can just call this Audacity. And then I usually put VO on all of my files that are a voiceover of some type, so I know what it is. So hit save, and it says it's going to mix it down. Here you can add some information if you have, like, an MP3 player that gives the artist name, the track name. You can fill all of this stuff in, and it will come up on, digital MP3 players or car stereos that play that type of file or whatever. Okay. And then you wait a moment for it to export. All right. And then find the file. We are recording an audio book. All I did was hit the R button on the keyboard, and it just started recording on the available track there. Okay, so there it is, and then that's ready to go. You can divide it up by chapters. I would recommend not doing, one gigantic file with hours and hours of recording. In case something happens and it gets lost, it's good to pick a good stopping point. So that's going to cover this segment with the audiobook or blog, or actually putting your, whatever you have in text that you're wanting to put into a video form, poems or whatever. And then at this point, you actually have this MP3 that you could take into video editing software and make a video out of it that you can upload to your YouTube channel. It can just be a still image. I don't know of any video software, free video software. I'm using really old stuff from when I went to school, and it still works for me, so I just go with that. But there's you could search open source video editing software, or perhaps some of you can chime in at what you use. It really depends on what you're editing on, and there's a lot of factors. This is, we've been covering what it's like on the PC, of course, here. So you've got this MP3 now. It can be played. It can be imported into video with footage or a still image added, and then uploaded to your YouTube channel. So it's a way to get a video, as well as the next, for the next step past beyond this, to actually have it where you can post it on YouTube. It'd get a lot more views there than other places. So that's going to cover this one. The next video, I'm going to cover how to make a song. We're going to do it with my mouth. I'm going to just show you sounds and the workflow, just to show you how you can actually make music out of anything. So that's coming up next. Lots of love, light, and unity. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.